Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video, and today I'm doing a video on my Nintendo DS collection. As I've got a few more games since last time I did a collection, or my Nintendo DS collection update maybe. Pretty underrated system slash handheld, I think. Pretty much got pretty destroyed by the 3DS, really, when you think about it, but yeah. First game I have here is LEGO Star Wars, the Clone Wars 3, for some reason. I haven't actually played this game, and I didn't even buy it, really. Fun fact, I didn't buy it. What happened was that I ended up, my mum, one of her friends' son got a bunch of stuff, like Lego and that, and a bunch of Lego from some other parent person who thought that their kid would like said Lego, but their kid wasn't sort of able to like said Lego, or it wasn't appropriate for them, and that, seeing as they're severely autistic, but as I was going through some of the Lego stuff, because then she was like, oh, here's all this Lego, does any other person want it? On Facebook and that, and then my mum was like, yeah, Matthew, you might like it. But, but the thing what is interesting is that, I was going through all those Lego bits and pieces, and this game was in there for some reason, so I was like, whoa, and it was like brand new, factory sealed and everything, and I was like, wait, what? So I've just got a essentially brand new DS game for free, which I thought was very interesting. I haven't played it, but I'm assuming it's decent, seeing as it's a Lego game. It's going to be a Lego game on the go, which, yeah. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Imagination Invasion, or Invaders. I'm assuming it's essentially a Space Invaders type game, but with the Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends type thing. I mean, I like the fact that I've got this game, just something different, really, isn't it? You know, something different, and I adore the Imaginary Friends series TV show, so I was very surprised. It was a pleasant surprise to get this when I came home from college, and it's weird that I can still remember that day when I got this game, mainly because one of my friends from college was over at mine on that day, and that, so that's kind of why I remember distinctly getting that game. Pokemon White version 2, which is one of the few Pokemon games that I've actually completed, and by complete, I've got all 8 gym badges for this, so yeah. Really good game. It's a Pokemon game. It's kind of a must-have on the handheld side of Nintendo, really, isn't it? You know, it's their main flagship for the handhelds. Plants vs Zombies. I adore this game, and it's just brilliant on the DS. It would be cool to get like a more upscaled HD version of this game on, say, Switch. Granted, preferably not for like 50 quid, maybe 20 quid, brand new maybe, but this game on the DS/3DS, because the 3DS is backwards compatible with DS games, is this game is superb. Brilliant, absolute brilliant tower defense game, if you're into tower defense games. Sonic Classic Collection with all the first 4 Sonic games. Brilliant if you're any bit a Sonic fan. It's obviously a must-have with Sonic, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Sonic & Knuckles, really. So, you know, a must-have, really, for anyone who's any bit the Sonic fan, and it's really the sort of golden age of Sonic on a DS cartridge of sorts, DS chip cartridgey thing. You know, so what can go wrong, really, with that, you know. Next up, you've got Sonic Colors, which I really haven't played much of. It's supposed to be really good. I've played a bit here and there, but not much. So I don't have much to say, but you have to collect these wisps, I think they're called, from what I remember, and it's supposed to be really good. I recall it distinctly getting lots of high praise and good reviews, or scores, from reviewers. So, New Super Mario Bros. I was going to say Bros. U, but on New Super Mario Bros. U, but this is New Super Mario Bros. It's your basic but really well refined and or effective, you know, Mario game, essentially. You know, it's not a bad game by any means. It's just so happens that I haven't played anymore, really, since I got it. I got it pre-owned, as you can kind of tell from the back. It's kind of really damaged and not in the best of conditions, but at least the game works from what I recall. Super Mario 64 DS, yeah, that's also pretty messed up case-wise. It's Mario 64 really on the DS. There's not else really to say. I mean, in retrospect, I've just traded in a few games. Well, literally 4 games, 2 Nintendo Wii games, a 360 game and an Xbox One game. You know, looking at this, I'm like, oh, I should have really traded this in as well. Because personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this game, which I know is heresy because it's Super Mario 64. Or Mario 64 type thing, but yeah, it's just not for me, really. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Brain Training, which really was the sort of thing that really sort of made the DS really mainstream. You know, Nintendo Wii had Wii Fit. You know, your DS had Brain Training. You know, Brain Training was very much aimed at, you know, your grandma and your you know, your average Joe Blogs on the street who just wanted some sort of device that could calculate their brain age and do that, and then that's about it, really. You know, this was I think this was definitely a, well, it's not even a game, it's more of a learning application, you know, and I think that really got a lot of people buying the platform. You know, this piece of software here definitely got a lot of people buying the hardware, should I say, that being the DS / the DS Lite. And a fun little fact, personally, I'd never actually seen an original DS until I went to secondary school, and even then that was quite near the latter end of secondary school, year 9 or 10, and that someone brought in their original DS, and I was like, wait, what? There was an original DS? Because I always just assumed it was just DS Lite, DSi, so on and so forth, you know, in terms of the handhelds, but there was an original DS that didn't look like that one. That's like a DS Lite. The DS, the original one, was massive as hell. But yeah. Yeah, so these are all the DS games I have. Nintendo DS games I have, and that. And what's really good about the 3DS is that it is backwards compatible. So if you've got a bunch of DS games and you've only just bought a 3DS, used or brand new, you know, you've definitely got a bevy of games to still play. So yeah, thanks for watching, comment, rate and subscribe.